Hello, I'm Peter Bergman. This is my official YouTube channel. I'll be updating you with the latest news, so please subscribe to my channel.
Welcome back to our channel, where the drama never sleeps, and neither do we. Today is a beautiful day to dive into the absolute madness of Genoa City, so grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's unpack this explosive situation together. Okay, I literally cannot believe this. Can we please process this mess together? Might delete this later, but I seriously can't stay silent about this anymore. Please tell me I'm not the only one losing my mind over this. I am operating on zero sleep. It is currently 3 a.m., and my brain is basically a toasted marshmallow of psychic damage because of what is going down in Genoa City right now. I just hit record because this grueling decade-long journey of watching these characters has finally pushed me over the absolute edge. We have legends carrying this entire legacy on their shoulders, and then we have these specific plot lines that are single-handedly testing my grip on reality, and I am going to call them all out. I am ditching the script. I am breaking all the filters. We are going raw, unedited, and completely unhinged, because the sheer magnitude of what is about to happen is a total game changer. Look, I thought I was ready for anything, but this is a lethal crunch to the psyche that I was not prepared for in the slightest. Unbelievable, guys. What's going on here? Let me just lay out the evidence before my heart actually explodes out of my chest and ruins my microphone. Basically, we are looking at Kyle Abbott stepping up to the plate to directly confront Victor Newman. Yes, you heard me correctly. Kyle Abbott confronting the Victor Newman to get revenge for Jack and Diane. Suddenly, the boy who we have watched navigate boardroom squabbles and messy romantic entanglements is deciding to put on his big boy pants and go to absolute war with the most dangerous man in the hemisphere. Honestly, I am hyperventilating just thinking about the sheer audacity of this move. Listen, Victor is not just some random CEO you can strong arm in an elevator. Victor is a force of nature, a literal titan who crushes people for sport, and Kyle thinks he can just march in there and demand justice for his parents. It's a major flex, but it's also low-key the most terrifying thing I have ever witnessed on this show. Look, we have to talk about the psychology here because my mind is spiraling into a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute dread. Kyle has spent his entire life watching his father, Jack Abbott, get completely decimated, outmaneuvered, and emotionally battered by Victor's relentless vendettas. And Diane? Don't even get me started on Diane. The trauma, the history, the absolute mess that Victor has put Diane through over the decades is enough to fill a psychiatric library. So suddenly, Kyle is looking at this legacy of pain, this generational Abbott suffering, and he's saying no more. Basically, he is weaponizing his own grief and anger. But wait, why are we like this? Why do we root for these incredibly self-destructive decisions? Because times, honestly, watching Kyle finally snap and decide to avenge Jack and Diane is the high-octane jump cut we desperately needed, even if it means he is walking straight into a meat grinder. I mean, let's really break down the Jack and Diane of it all. Jack has spent his entire adult life in a toxic, never-ending chess match with Victor. It's a legacy of corporate espionage, stolen companies, broken hearts, and absolute betrayals. And Diane has always been caught in the crossfire, or sometimes, let's be real, she was the crossfire. Kyle is carrying the weight of all that historical baggage on his shoulders. He is basically looking at the Newman Empire and seeing a giant glowing monument to his family's suffering. Listen, when Kyle confronts Victor, he isn't just speaking for himself. He is channeling decades of Abbott rage. He is becoming the avatar of Jack's unfulfilled vengeance and Diane's lingering scars. IT is so deep and so raw, and I am literally shaking. But honestly, is Kyle actually equipped for this? Because Victor is currently on a terrifying God-tier power trip that makes his past schemes look like child's play. Speaking of Victor, let's look at the absolute state of the mustache right now. This man is unhinged. He just successfully regained control of Newman Enterprises. He is casually handing over Chancellor to Lily Winters like it's a party favor. And he is literally keeping Matt as a psychological hostage at the Newman Ranch to test his sincerity. Victor is playing God with people's lives on a level we haven't seen in years. He is dictating who gets to shower, who gets to run companies, and who gets to breathe the air in Genoa City. And this is the exact moment Kyle decides to poke the bear? Are you kidding me? Basically, Kyle is looking at a man who is currently operating at absolute terminal velocity, a man who is actively ignoring his own son Nick's concerns about Nicky being hurt by the Chancellor deal. And Kyle says, yeah, I can take him. It is a stunning, breathtaking level of delusion and bravery combined. Whoa, I've really gone off chasing butterflies into another dimension. I was just thinking about how Victor's office furniture always looks so intimidating. Like, do they specifically buy chairs that make people feel small? And what is with the lighting in there? It's always so dramatic, like he's Batman, but with a corporate portfolio. Anyway, bringing the signal back, let's stick to the script. We are talking about Kyle's impending doom. Or wait, is it doom? Let me contradict myself for a second. Maybe Kyle actually has a shot. Maybe because Victor is so distracted playing puppet master with Lily Kane and his little captive Matt, he won't see Kyle coming. Actually, no, that's ridiculous. Victor sees everything, but maybe, just maybe, Kyle's sheer unpredictability is his greatest weapon. Honestly, I don't even know what I believe anymore. My brain is just leaking out of my ears at this point because I am trying to process too much lore at once. Listen, the dynamic of this confrontation is going to be legendary. I can already see the raw frames packing a lethal crunch. Kyle storming into the ranch or the Newman CEO office, his jaw clenched, his eyes burning with that specific Abbott defiance. And Victor won't even stand up. He'll just sit there, steepling his fingers, looking at Kyle like he's a mildly annoying gnat that wandered into his airspace. You got something to say, my boy? Oh my God, I can hear it in my head and it is driving me insane. Kyle is going to lay out all the sins Victor has committed against Jack and Diane, and Victor is just going to smirk. That smirk is going to push Kyle over the edge, and honestly, I am here for the absolute chaos that will follow. It's a total game changer for Kyle's character arc. He is shedding the boyish charm and stepping into his anti-hero era, and it is a low-key obsession for me right now. But wait, let's talk about the parents for a second. How are Jack and Diane going to react when they find out their son is trying to fight their battles? Diane is going to absolutely spiral. She is fiercely protective of Kyle, and the thought of him putting himself in Victor's crosshairs is going to send her into a full-blown panic attack. She knows what Victor is capable of. She knows Victor will not hesitate to crush Kyle just to send a message to Jack. And Jack? Jack might initially feel a surge of pride seeing his son stand up for the family name, but that pride is going to be immediately swallowed by sheer, unadulterated terror. Because Jack knows better than anyone that you do not go to war with Victor Newman unless you are prepared to lose everything. Basically, Kyle is igniting a powder keg that is going to blow up his own family's peace of mind, all in the name of defending them. It is beautifully tragic. And honestly, what is Kyle's actual endgame here? Is he trying to ruin Victor financially? Because good luck with that. The man just swallowed Newman Enterprises back up whole and is restructuring the entire corporate landscape with Lily and Kane. Is he trying to expose some dark secret? Victor has 1 million of them, and none of them ever stick. Is he just trying to get a physical punch in? Because if Kyle punches Victor, I will literally scream so loud my neighbors will call the cops. Basically, Kyle's strategy is entirely emotional, which is exactly why it is so dangerous. He isn't operating on logic. He is operating on pure, unfiltered, psychic damage. He is tired of watching his parents be the victims of Victor's grand design. Suddenly, Kyle is the one trying to flip the board, but he doesn't realize the board is glued to the table, and Victor owns the table, the room, and the entire building. Look, we have to acknowledge how this ties into the broader canvas of Genoa City right now, because the contrast is insane. While Audra is out here suddenly showing vulnerability over Malcolm's recovery and plotting to attend Noah's shadow room opening despite Holden's warnings, and while Phyllis is getting utterly destroyed by Daniel at society and relying on Sharon to keep her from completely spiraling out of control, Kyle is out here planning World War III. Phyllis is crying over losing her spot at Newman, but Kyle is actively trying to burn the man at the top of Newman to the ground. It is the legacy feud reignited by the next generation, and it is hitting with maximum energy. I am just low-key dragging this entire vibe into the spotlight because nobody else seems to realize the apocalyptic stakes of Kyle's actions. While everyone else is playing checkers with their little nightclub openings and cafe dates, Kyle is trying to play 4D chess with the Grim Reaper of Genoa City. Honestly, I just need to vent this out to the digital hive mind because I cannot carry this burden alone anymore. The sheer weight of the Abbott-Newman lore is crushing me. Kyle confronting Victor for Jack and Diane is the culmination of decades of storytelling, boiling down into one jittery, high-velocity moment of truth. I am spiraling. I am absolutely spiraling through a chaotic feedback loop of transcendent hype and absolute narrative betrayal. Why betrayal? Because I know deep down that the writers might just let Victor win again. And if Victor wins again without breaking a sweat, I will riot. Basically, I need Kyle to at least leave a scratch. I need him to prove that the Abbotts aren't just punching bags for the mustache. Please, please, please tell me I'm not the only one who needs this to happen. In conclusion, or whatever passes for a conclusion in this sleep-deprived, borderline hysterical rant, Kyle Abbott is about to either become the greatest hero in Genoa City history or the most tragic cautionary tale we've ever seen. He is weaponizing his love for Jack and Diane and aiming it directly at the sun. It is a suicide mission. It is a masterclass in emotional storytelling. And it is basically the only thing keeping me tethered to this mortal plane right now. I am dumping my unedited psychic damage onto you all because you are the only circle that speaks this language. We are witnessing an existential collapse, both mine and Kyle's, and honestly, it is the most beautiful, terrifying thing I have ever seen. I'm hitting upload on this right now before I lose my nerve and pass out on my keyboard.
Thank you for watching my video. I will be updating regularly with the latest news, so please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me.